Hello, welcome to MT at Night. I'm your host, Jayana Scurry. Well, it's deep in this November and we're getting closer to Lenny Kravitz's Scarf Day. Legend has it, the scarf grows 10% bigger every year. Well, a new trailer was released for Toy Story 4. And some new characters were introduced, including a spork named Forky. What? Not even an actual toy? Why is there even another Toy Story? Why can't we let the 20-year-olds who cried in the movie theater be at peace? That's what I need. It just makes me want to chug a box of Tide. Well, if you haven't heard yet, the new Tide packaging looks like boxed wine. The Tide Pod Challenge is coming back with a vengeance. Don't drink it though, unless you need to cope after watching Toy Story 4. No age limit required. Well, we got a great show for you tonight. We got an interview and performance by musician Danny Anderson, so stay tuned.
I call you and say, I'm with the IRS. You owe back taxes, and if you don't pay today, you're going to jail. You can fix this by sending cash. Did you actually believe me? Too smart to fall for it? Well, last year, Americans paid $100 million to guys like me. 1 in 6 people were scammed. Can you believe it? Well, you shouldn't. I just made that up, too. You are a little gullible.
Hello. Hello. I'm here today with Miss Kristi Hoopes. Okay.
Okay.
So are you ready for this challenge today?
Yes, what are we doing?
We, my dear, are going to be drawing each other's portraits while doing this interview.
Okay.
And at the end of the interview, we'll show the audience what we got. Let's begin.
Okay.
All right. So, Kristi.
Yes.
I understand that you are now working on an EP.
Yes, I am.
Tell me a little bit about like what's going to be on that. Like what is your audience and your fans looking forward to seeing on there?
So this EP is going to be entirely 70s inspired.
Okay.
Because I love the 70s. I think it was the most musically revolutionary time period, especially for country music. I think we had some of our best songs and best acts come out of that time. And it's completely written by new co-writers of mine, Kirsty Manna being one of them, who did Blake Shelton's Austin, which was his first #1 hit. And,
that's actually great.
Yeah, and other good friend of mine, Lynn Wilbanks, is also a co-writer on the tracks. And it's being produced by Paul Worley, who did the Dixie Chicks and Lady Antebellum. So we have a really good crew
that.
on it. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be really exciting for me to finally release some music of my own that really kind of captures who I am as an artist at this moment. But I think people are going to really love it. It's a great mixture of all of the music that I think a lot of people loved growing up listening to. Like some of my biggest inspirations have been kind of all over the board. Loretta Lynn, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Creedence Clearwater Revival. And then on the other flip side of that, disco. I love disco because my mom was a DJ back in the 80s.
So you've kind of been around it.
Yeah, so I've had a really diverse musical upbringing. So I'm kind of bringing all of those elements into this EP, but at the heart of it, the record is completely country. It's authentic. It's not a beer and truck album. Well, I'm just so tired.
A lot of people stereotype. Yeah, it has that.
And country music is so much more than that. And specifically, the female perspective in country music is so much more than just being I'm a heartbroken girl, or I'm a girl, on the warpath. There's so many other
facets.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this record is really going to be the opportunity to do that. You really kind of only get one first record.
Yeah.
And this is my first record, so I'm really excited to just show me, you know, because the me I was 4 years ago when I released my first 2 singles, like, that was a very different Kristi. That was her still figuring out who she wanted to be as an artist and what she had to say, and still kind of, you know, figuring out her songwriting chops. And now I've come to a point where I know me. So yeah, I'm excited.
Wow. Okay. So you got that going on, and not only is your EP coming out, but you've got an Indiegogo going out too. Like, to fund.
Yeah.
Tell them a little bit about that and how they can help, you know, support, because we love you.
Yeah, so we've got a little less than 2 weeks left.
Okay.
On the Indiegogo. And yeah, so we launched an Indiegogo to do the EP, and I really wanted to do that because I feel like it gives the fans a really great way to get connected to the album directly. And like, I don't have a record label, I don't have a publisher. Like, you know, I'm reaching out to the people who have loved my music since the beginning,
which is great,
and are asking them to, you know, help make that dream a possibility. And especially with so many of them that have been waiting for that to happen. You know, I feel like the Indiegogo was a really great opportunity for them to be able to do that and to be a part of my world and to see, you know, every step of what it takes to make a record, because, you know, I think a lot of people don't get to have that full picture of what goes into making a whole album. So
thank you for coming out today and doing this awesome interview. And if you guys want to go ahead and hop in on her Indiegogo for these last few weeks,
yes,
that'll be great.
Please do that.
Love and support. We're excited for Kristi's.
Country music is going to get groovy again, but only with your help.
All right. So I believe we're both finished with our portraits.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Since you're the guest,
Okay.
I guess you can go ahead first and show them what you got.
All right. So this is my lovely drawing. See, she has perfect eyebrows.
Oh,
and these eyelashes, though, are just like a butterfly. And
I love my eyelashes.
She's just beautiful.
It's great.
I think it's fairly
I think it looks just like me, honestly, though. Like, what?
You know, I'm really surprised that the face actually turned out a lot better.
Really? Right about that. Thank you.
Are you gonna frame it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna frame that.
Definitely. Oh my God. Okay, so this is Kristi.
Okay.
Don't you love it? I drew her little hat.
I love it.
I tried. That's all I can say.
They look a little British.
Do you? Do you really?
It's like the British hat. It looks like one of the little British hats. I don't know what they're called.
Like fedora?
I guess.
Thank you for coming out, Kristi. It's been great.
Thank you.
This has been great. Okay, you guys.
So fun.
Bye.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Everyone, welcome back to MT at Night, and welcome our guest tonight, musician Danny Anderson.
Hello, it's good to be here.
Hey, yes, it is wonderful to have you here. And Danny is a freshman here at MTSU, and he is majoring in commercial songwriting.
Yep, that is the case.
Wonderful. So, tell us, how did you decide to come to MTSU?
Well, you know, being in this part of the world near Nashville, it's a great place to be when you're trying to mingle with other musicians, if that's a good word for that. But you know, back home, I felt like I had kind of worn out the local music scene. I had kind of spread my tentacles as far as I could and felt out all the sort of gig locations and played with everybody I could. And you know, Nashville, this area, it's the music scene is vast, to say the least. So that played a big role in it. And also, MTSU as a school, you know, apart from the degree program, obviously, you can't really get that many other places. But also, the thing that really kind of caught me about MTSU was the diversity. You know, I felt like I was at home here. You know, I didn't feel like I had to put on airs for anybody or pretend like I was something I wasn't. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
it's a comfortable place to be.
It is a comfortable place. And so you came from Little Rock, right?
Well, the Little Rock area. I live in Maumelle, Arkansas, but do you know where that is?
I do not.
Didn't think so. So that's why I tell people I'm from Little Rock. So it's very close. I spent a lot of time in Little Rock, so
That is awesome.
yeah.
And so, describe your music and who inspires you.
Well, ever since I was a wee lad, I had been listening to people like the Beatles and Queen, so musically that was kind of my upbringing. But as I kind of got more into it and started becoming my own musician, my own person, developing my own sound, John Mayer is a big influence on me. He is an inspiration because I just kind of see what he does, and he pours his soul out into what he's doing, and that's really what gets me. That's what inspires me when I see people really playing with such passion. And it doesn't even have to be music, when I watch a movie, like whenever Star Wars Episode 7 came out, at the climax of the movie, whenever she's just like fighting for her life, Sometimes it seems like that, like seeing guys like Prince on stage, just playing a guitar solo or something. It just kind of, it cuts to my core, if you will, so.
That is awesome. Unfortunately, I still haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies, but I know, I'm really slacking.
Yeah.
But
well,
I know the music though, because I listen to the film score, so that's one thing.
You're definitely missing out. So.
Yeah. One day.
Yeah.
I don't want to like start like here and then like miss out on the other ones from like back in when did it start? The 80s? Is that when it started?
Something like
Something
that.
like that.
But
yeah.
you should probably do that. I feel like I'm not the first person to ever talk about Star Wars in an interview, so should get on that.
I do. I'm slacking.
Alrighty.
Big time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you have like some albums out. I know you had one come out last year, and you had more of a recent one.
So my first album that I put out for the world to hear, it's called Recovery. I released that in early 2017, I think. It's called Recovery, and it's got a bunch of songs on it that just kind of represent a time in my life, just kind of the development of a young adult, if you will, because that's what I was and still am. And most recently, I've got a 3-song EP out that I released a week ago today. It's called An Era, and I called it that because the 3 songs, they were just kind of songs that I had sitting around for a while. They were kind of from this awkward in-between stage of not quite kind of a more recent sound from the Recovery album. So it was after that, but before college, before I came here and everything in my life changed when I moved to Tennessee. My parents are retiring and all that stuff, so they were just kind of songs from that little in-between era, so hence the name.
Okay. And so the songs you're going to perform here tonight, are they from an era?
2 of them are Hey Buddy and Sorry for the Raining. Those are 2 songs off of An Era. And the third one, it's called Sick of Bliss, and that's one of the tracks from Recovery.
Okay, wonderful. And do you have like any stories behind those songs or what they mean to you?
Well, of course, most of my songs have a good bit of meaning to me. Sometimes you just start writing words and then you kind of figure it out, and a lot of times it's up to the listener to decide what it means to them. But for me, Hey Buddy, that one is kind of heavy on my heart because, I wrote that about a friend of mine. He was a really good friend, and we just kind of part ways, and he started kind of going down a path that didn't seem so bright, and so that's just kind of an open letter, if you will.
Yeah.
And the other 2 songs, a lot of my songs are just kind of about relationships with people, how I see people and trying to get inside their heads and figure out, what they think about what makes them tick every day, So.
I like that. Yeah. Those are great meanings. And before we move on, I want to talk about your bolo tie here,
Yes,
which is
yes.
a deer. So tell us about your love of bolo
I think
ties.
it's a reindeer, if you will. But
Reindeer.
so a couple years ago, the summer before my senior year of high school, I went up to Boston for 5 weeks and attended a summer program at the Berklee College of Music. And me and my friends, we would go out walking on the streets, and I guess musicians are kind of known for having like a very certain style, and there was this little shop called Rick Walker's Rock and Roll Western Wear.
Oh.
I'm not going to say that 5 times fast.
No, do it, please.
No.
No. Okay, okay.
But anyhow, really cool place. There was a chicken in there. I guess it belonged to Rick Walker, the owner of the Rock and Roll Western Wear place. But anyway, I went in there and saw this and decided it was time to start wearing bolo ties. So it's the one that started it all.
So you have more?
I have one more.
One more.
But
You're going to start a collection?
Yes. I intend to grow my collection.
Is this a normal one, or is there another animal on it?
Well, the other one I have, it's pretty standard. It's just kind of a gold little thing.
Thing?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to call it, but it is a thing, without a doubt. So.
Yes. So this is a new era in your life
Yes,
of
it is.
bolo tie wearing.
Yep.
Yes, it is. I like that. And also, moving on to more subjects about fashion. He got an All-State ring on, don't you?
Yes, I was a band kid in high school, played percussion, and my sophomore year, that was the first year I was able to try out for the All-State band, and I practiced, and then practiced some more, and I guess it paid off, and then I continued to make the first band for the following 2 years after that. So I just kind of got it as kind of a reminder that, it may seem like a mountain in front of you, because whenever I found out I was eligible to audition for the All-State band, I had, people that I looked up to who said, man, it's crazy. You get in that audition room and it's loud, you can't think, it's so difficult. Everybody there makes you feel like you suck, but it just kind of reminds me that, if I set my mind to it and decide that I am going to do something, I can do it. There's nothing stopping me. So
I like that mindset.
It's a personal little message to myself.
That is an amazing message for people to know, especially
Yeah.
people who are inspiring artists like you, who are trying to get their name out and become famous, or just want people to listen to their music.
Right.
I really like that. And it's great because you're here in college and you're pursuing your dream.
Yeah. It's, as I said earlier, it's good to be here. So,
Yes,
yeah,
it is good to be here.
It's a good life we live.
Yes, I can definitely relate, coming from a fellow band student here, a band kid, because I have my state championship ring on that I wear all the time.
We need to do like some sort of
some
like,
kind of like fist bump.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. Okay.
yeah.
Band kids
Awesome. Yeah.
still wearing their band rings from high school.
Right.
Yes, I like that. And you know what, Danny? What else do you have to say for people who are interested in listening to your music? Why should they listen?
Well, you have your own free will. You can listen to what you want to listen to, but, I feel like I have something to say. I decided early on in high school that I was going to change the world, that I was going to, that sounds, on the surface, it sounds really like a lofty goal, but, people have done it, John Lennon, Bob Dylan, they wrote songs and rallied a generation of change, Martin Luther King Jr., they had something to say and people could get behind it. And, we live in some really turbulent times, politically, socially, everything. There's a lot of turmoil going on right now, and I feel like we need to reinstate this message of peace and togetherness, unity.
Yeah.
There's no problem that can't be solved by love. I believe,
Oh,
very
yes.
firmly. So,
Yes, I like that.
you know, that's a message I'm trying to spread, and I feel like people should hear it. So,
That is amazing.
so
I like that.
if you'd like to listen to
Yes.
it, I can be found on Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, Apple Music, all those platforms of musical listening.
Yes.
I feel like there's probably a more technical term to say that, but
Well, yeah, I like that, Danny.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that love message, listen to Danny's music, found on all streaming services that he said. Yes. Okay. And when we come back from the break, we are going to have a performance from Danny Anderson. Stay tuned.
They say that the eyes are the windows to the soul. I guess that's why mine are so stormy and yours are so blue. I've noticed the sky tends to reflect the mood, an abstract picture of a heart that's so cold. Every single cloud is different, just like every day that blows on by, just like the flashes from a stormy sky. My emotions are always so inconsistent, while your love is so persistent. I am a storm and you are a structure. I am the lightning and you're the conductor. No matter how hard I strike, you can take it. You stand up through every time that your earth has been shaken. And I'm sorry for the raining. You say what you feel and it sounds like a gentle breeze. My words just sound like thunder. When will you get sick of it? I really wonder. Too many times have the floods fallen down your face, but you hold everything in place. Structure. I am the lightning and you're the conductor. No matter how hard I strike, you can take it. You stand up through every time that your earth has been shaken. And I'm sorry for the raining. Yeah. I'm sorry for the rain. No. I am a storm and you are a structure. I am the lightning and you're the conductor. No matter how hard I strike, you can take it. If you the road to my rear view, I won't look, my eyes not on you. You gotta follow me to give myself a rock and roll record. If you are, then tell me so. You had me from the start, but it tore me apart. You're too far and I'm too slow. If you can't see the light in this, I gotta move. I'm sick of bliss. Hey. When the fishing gets tough, it's just right for me. 'Cause there's so many fish in the deep blue sea. You gotta take care, my father told me. You find the strength in consistency. Son, you got a head start, pick apart. You can fill the shopping cart with anyone you want. Any who you can choose, so you don't have to get the blues and let go of the gun. If you